Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Deja Vu here, and I'm bringing you the third day from the E-Star Soul StarCraft Heritage League, longest name for a tournament like ever. And this third day is going to have only 3 matches because I did find out that I Love OV was forced to withdraw or postpone the games. I don't think they've determined which yet due to some sort of illness. So hopefully he gets he feels better soon, and maybe they can replay some of those games and get the rest of those finished up, because that'd be unfortunate to not see some of his games, especially I Love OV versus Nada or Boxer. Definitely games that I'm sure everyone wanted to see. But here we're gonna have 3 games for you. This first one is going to be between Yellow and Anytime. Second game will be Nara and Kingdom, and then the third game will be Mantos Reach versus Toss Girl. So here we go. We're going to have Yellow and Anytime on Outsider. This should be a lot of fun. Both these players have had some pretty entertaining games so far. Anytime versus Boxer was a great game to watch. A PvT that was very entertaining, and it went for quite a while. And yeah, Yellow had a couple of good games as well. Particularly against Toss Girl, he pretty much just absolutely abused her with drones. So if you want to see someone win with drones, go watch Yellow versus Toss Girl. If you've ever been a Zerg player that's gotten pissed off of a SCV rush or anything else that a Terran does with SCVs, go watch that game for some sweet, sweet golden revenge. But yeah, this should be a lot of fun. Anytime is going to be starting out in the bottom of the map at the 6 o'clock position in peach white, and Yellow will be at the left-hand position 9 o'clock in red. So yeah, a little bit of background on this game. Anytime and Yellow met for, I believe, the first time when Anytime was a rookie in 2005, and in that year Anytime actually faced Yellow in the SO1 OSL and beat Yellow straight up. At that point, Yellow was definitely one of the top players in the game, and absolutely took down the Storm Zerg in the round of 16 using actually got a Tempest play out of it by as voted on by like SC Legacy or whatever, and definitely I think Cholera commentated on it, some other people, and I was just pretty much almost pure DTs. Went and just destroyed Yellow. No Corsairs, this was one base DTs, and he just destroyed Yellow, which was quite amazing. And Anytime Scout going to the 12 o'clock position first, going to see that that was incorrect, and he's going to go check out what Yellow's doing here. We'll see whether or not Anytime's going to try and do a rematch or a remake of that classic game and do something absolutely crazy. I don't think so. I think we see the Forge going up at the front already, so there isn't going to be any crazy one-base DT build. It's just not viable anymore with all the new strategies. And yeah, it looks like Anytime is going to get into the base, Anytime throwing down the pylon. And yeah, now he's just going to go in for some harass here. It does look like a Forge expand, but that was a 12 hatch by Yellow, so Anytime should be able to throw down his Nexus very, very quickly. And there's the spawning pools. Yeah, it's a 12 hatch, 11 pool. And we'll see where Yellow decides to go from here. I've actually been surprised to see that most Zerg players haven't been throwing down a 3rd hatchery in the corners of the map to take advantage of the double gas expansions. It was kind of a popular thing at first when Outsider came out, but then just sort of completely died out as it was so vulnerable to Reaver harass or any sort of shuttle work, or from a Terran player from Wraiths and dropships. It was just very hard for Zerg players to defend. But at the same time, I think it is possible. If you can get that 2 gas up and running, you can get onto 4 gas very, very quickly, which would be a huge advantage if you're able to pull it off. Don't know if Yellow's going to be doing something like that. I think it'd be pretty cool to see a Zerg player pull that off, just because 4 gas, early 4 gas for a Zerg player would just be insane. And it would just be so much fun to see just that number of Mutalisks or Lurkers or whatever they really want to do. Off of 4 gas, you could even tech to early Hive if they wanted to. And it looks like Anytime's throwing down a pylon and a gateway at his front, so that's going to be a pretty tight block. Not much of a chance for a Zergling run by off of that. And that probe for Anytime still alive in Yellow's base, seeing the layer going up and seeing that there's no Hydros den, nothing, yeah, so this probably won't be a Lurker build, at least not off the bat. It could, of course, still turn into a 5-hatch Hydra, which is so popular. But we don't know, and until Yellow gets rid of that probe, that is a massive advantage for Anytime, just getting all of that scouting information. Anytime only has 1 probe on gas. Oddly enough, I've not really... Okay, here we go. Now he's adding a couple more, but that was very odd. For a little bit there, he only had 1 probe, and it was just looked weird to me. And there's the Cybernetic Spore for Anytime. And now it looks like Yellow's going to the top left of the map. We'll see whether or not he's going to trick a drone through, or if he's just going to throw it down at the mineral only. I want to see what he's doing. Come on, let's go see it. Okay, yeah, he's just throwing down a hatchery at the mineral only is what it looks like. And Anytime's probe still lives, no matter what Yellow does. Yellow's surrounded a couple times with Zerglings, still has not been able to take it down. Yellow, unfortunately, has just not been able to finish off that scouting SCV. That thing's staying alive forever. And Yellow is throwing down his Spire as well. We'll see whether that's for Scourge or actually for Mutalisk. It's been a while since we've actually seen a Mutalisk build in ZVP, just because of the disadvantage they are at against Corsairs, and it just seems like everyone's fallen in love with the 5-hatch Hydra build, and I would not be surprised at all to see Yellow go to 5-hatch Hydra and just try and use one of the newer strategies, just because I think Yellow is gonna probably play this a little safer. Watching his games recently, I have to say that he's been playing relatively safe strategies, not necessarily all-in strategies, but just strategies that have been shown to be pretty effective. He's not exactly trying out anything new, I would say. And 3 Zealots produced for Anytime. Moving out a little bit here, we'll see what he's going to be able to do. I think that he's going to run right into this pack of Zerglings in the middle of the map, and we'll get into a little dance here as the Zerglings try to get the surround on them as they try and, looks like he might even have to throw down a creep colony at his natural expansion. We haven't seen it yet. Yeah, okay, the sunken colony was already down, so maybe he'll go for some sort of a surround on these Zealots as they come in and take advantage of that sunken colony. Hopefully Anytime sees that and just backs up. Yeah, he backs off very quickly, knowing that there's just no real chance of success with only 3 Zealots. But that Stargate for Anytime should be just about completed now, so he should be getting some Corsairs out pretty soon, especially, and he's going to try and pick off an Overlord or two, and try and get a supply advantage that way. And here comes the drone for Yellow at the top left of the map, going to take this double gas expansion that I was talking about earlier. And if he can hold this, if he can get to 3 minerals and 4 gas off of only 4 bases, that would be very, very good for him. And there's the first Corsair being chased by Scourge now. We'll see how Anytime's Corsair micro is. If you micro your Corsairs correctly, you have to move them at about 45-degree angles or so, and you can actually keep them from getting caught by Scourge. But it doesn't look like Anytime's able to do it quite well enough. As you can see, he did manage to get a couple good turns in there, so he got a little bit of space again. And now there's another couple Scourge waiting for this Corsair. This could be really bad for Anytime. Anytime's going to lose the Corsair. There goes the Corsair. So now Anytime's got, maybe one Corsair has been rebuilt, but that's really bad for a Protoss player to lose the early Corsairs. You really need them in order to establish some air superiority. If you keep losing your Corsairs, obviously that's a lot of wasted resources and an economic advantage for the Zerg player. But also, it means that you're not popping Overlords. It means all of that tech is going to nothing. And there's a Templar Archive also up for Anytime. This might have been for Corsairs DTs. I haven't seen any DTs produced yet, but that would be pretty sweet to see him do a Corsair DT.